Welcome back. The prosecution rested today in the case against R&B superstar R. Kelly. Meanwhile, the defense first witness took the stand. I think we've got some images from inside. I say images because it's not video. That's due to the Supreme Court rules set down by your Chief Justice. But there's R. Kelly back in court. And a big day. When the prosecution rests, they've said basically, we've put enough up there to prove it all. Meanwhile, one of the witnesses who took the stand last week interviewed with Good Morning America about her experience working for R. Kelly.
He had like 3 properties, and those properties, there was like a certain decorum. I know Robert, the family man, the businessman, but his personal life is Robert's personal life. So my job stops at the threshold of his bedroom door.
That's a lot safer there at the threshold and not going on the other side. Let's bring in Court TV legal correspondent Julia Janae, who joins us live from Brooklyn, New York tonight. Let's talk about it. We're in the defense case. How about their first witness? Who'd they put up?
Vinny, their first witness was an aspiring musical rapper who went by the name Deny. He said he used to be the chairman of Undeniable Records. He even came in today armed with his own music that he said that he wanted Kelly to listen to. The defense attorney asked if it could be played in court. Judge Donnelly said absolutely not. But the issue for Deny to get in front of this jury is he told them that he has known Kelly for 15 years. He worked on musical projects with the singer and says that he never saw any verbal abuse or physical abuse, never saw him strike a woman, never saw him deny a woman food or access to a bathroom. Actually, he called it chivalrous the way the defendant treated women and didn't eat before they were eating, stood when they walked into a room. He says that he stood up for them out of a sign of respect. He also said that there was a time that he flew out to Chicago to meet with the defendant, talk with him about a musical project, and he had to wait for a couple of days before Kelly was able to meet with him in one of the rooms. And here's what the defense attorney asked him, Calvin Scholar. He said, "Why was it that you waited? Why did you not leave after all those days?" And the witness said that he understood that this is how things are. He understood what was going on, how the music business is, and just how busy Kelly was with his music. He also spoke to the rules. He said that there weren't any rules that he saw imposed on the female guests, the accusers who have come in to testify against the defendant. And he said this rule about knocking. We heard some accusers say they had to knock before they entered a room, before they exited a room. He said this was a common courtesy. He had to knock because there was a creative process going on almost at all times. Knocking was common courtesy. It could throw off the entire thing if someone walked in when you are recording. The prosecution on cross-examination, they were able to draw out that he really is still someone who is very loyal to the defendant, wants him to be a part of his music, still has unreleased music that he put together with Kelly.
Okay, so he literally wanted to play his demo in court today for R. Kelly. Is that what I'm taking away from this?
Vinny, I can't believe it either. I was really surprised at even why that came out on direct, because it did make him seem like a really loyal fan rather than an unbiased witness who's just telling what he saw. But he said he had the music, he would like to play it, and Attorney Scholar asked the judge if he had permission to play it, and she said no, that's not going to happen.
So Deny was denied.
Deny was denied, undeniably.
There's a long setup for that. Long setup. All right, stay where you are, Julie Janae. Let's bring back in our think tank. This is, all right, Jennifer Brandt, is this as silly as I think it is? That you call your first witness and he's like, I got to play my demo for Robert.
I think it is pretty silly, Vinny. And it's pretty sad that this is the best that he could come up with. I mean, I think it really shows the weakness in his case that his first witness is somebody who is literally a fan and someone who wants R. Kelly in the position that he's in to hear his music. So it just sounds bad all around. And the one thing that I thought was really interesting is that he did confirm the knocking. I mean, we heard the prosecution witness talk about that quite a bit in the prosecution's case. And he confirmed the knocking. Of course, he offered a different explanation for it, but I think it lets the jury know that that was something that did go on, and they can draw their own conclusions from the testimony they've heard thus far as to why there was the infamous knocking before entering R. Kelly's room.
All right, Casey, what do we do if when the jury's deliberating, the first note they send out is, can we listen to Denai's demo?
Well, obviously, the judge will deny that request because it was not entered into evidence. And oftentimes, the jury will ask for certain pieces of evidence that was a demonstrative aid as opposed to it being entered into evidence. But I'm thinking the same thing. If this is what the defense has, I'm pretty sure that this is just going down. Unless they're saving their strongest witness towards the end, I would suggest, as the defense attorney, that they put on females to counter what the prosecution put up with their Jane Does, that they were in the industry, they were never disrespected by Kelly, they were never harmed physically, sexually. But if they're going to put up Denai as their strongest witness in the beginning, this is going downhill. As a defense attorney, you want to put the strongest witness in the front and in the back. Get that sandwich in. So this is not a good way to start.
All right, let's bring back in Julia Janae. We'll get to you, Michael. I want you to react to this. So, Julia, who was the second witness? If the first witness was denied, the second witness objection, who was it?
A second witness, a lot more strong when you think about his background and the way it may come across for this jury. As far as credibility, is a security officer for Kelly named Larry Hood. He's someone who worked with him between 1991 to 95, and then again from 2002 to 2004. And in between that time, he joined the Chicago Police Department, served as a police officer until 2007, left the department in good standing. And he says during the time that he was working for Kelly, he did not observe any underage girls performing with Kelly in his studio, never witnessed any abuse, and was never made aware of any wrongdoing as someone who was there in this enforcement type of position. On cross-examination, though, prosecutors asked him about his background with the defendant, and he did say that he was a childhood friend, someone who had known him growing up. He said that he was also with Kelly when he first met Aaliyah when she was 12 or 13 years old, when they were with her parents and they first invited her to come on the road and produce with Kelly. He said he didn't know anything about the marriage and learned about it about a year later. He agrees that he didn't check IDs at the studio, so may not have known for sure the age of the female guests around, but overall refuting what we've heard from those other former employees who have taken the stand talking about who was around Kelly and what may have transpired as far as what accusers say happened when they were alone with him.
Michael Bixon, I think this is a little bit better, a police officer, but again,
Absolutely.
a childhood friend.
I mean, don't get me wrong, not perfect, but, you know, by leaps and bounds, way better than what they brought out for their first witness. I mean, you're supposed to start as strong as possible, end as strong as possible, and that wasn't a very strong opening. You know, if they started with Mr. Hood, and I think, again, he's not a perfect witness. There is definitely some issues there with, you know, him being a childhood friend and things like that, but still much, much better overall, I think.
All right, our think tank's going to stay with us. I think Michael Bixon's going to play his demo for us when we come back. Let's check back in with Julia Janae. Julia, what can we expect tomorrow?
Tomorrow we may hear from a defense investigator on the stand, and we're talking about the order of these witnesses. They may not have as much control over that because they have said that they've had difficulty with the travel, getting their witnesses here to New York. Prosecutors have complained to the court that they haven't been given notice about who's going to testify, but we'll likely hear from that investigator and then some more former employees of the defendant.
Julia Janae in Brooklyn, New York. Thanks so much, Julia.